a delegate to a DFL convention is an exciting opportunity to vote directly on the DFL party endorsements, decide the party platform, and elect party leadership. There's no better place to meet with people in your community, talk directly to candidates, and help steer the DFL and progressive politics. Delegates are people from your community who your precinct caucus and other delegates elect to represent them at a convention. Each precinct and district gets a number of delegates based on a formula we call the candidate average vote, or CAV. Alternates are elected to fill the place of delegates if they can't fulfill their duties. This ensures each precinct or district still gets its full number of votes at the convention. At a convention, delegates come together to act as the DFL party and decide on which candidates to endorse, who to elect for party leadership, which delegates and alternates to send to the next convention, and which proposed resolutions should become part of the party platform. In their ideal form, conventions can be a carnival of democracy. But in reality, democracy can be kind of tedious and a little messy. Even so, DFL party conventions are spirited, lively events full of visits from candidates and elected officials, and have presentations by party leaders to the delegates and attendees, and plenty of chances to connect with your neighbors and make important decisions together. Conventions have a lot of moving parts, so they can get pretty complex. In many cases, local party leaders and volunteers don't have enough resources to make sure the convention is fully planned out. That's where delegates come in. It's good strategy for you to get involved in one or more of the pre-convention committees at your precinct caucus. These are nominations, resolutions, arrangements, credentials, and rules. These committees also typically include representatives from each campaign and one or two organizers from the unit that's going to host the convention. Working alongside these representatives, your committees will figure out important details, and the committee proposals almost always get accepted at the convention without any changes. Once you get to the convention, you're going to start at the check-in table. This is where you'll pick up your badge to show your delegate status and pick up any meeting documents for the day. Around the convention, you'll find plenty of informational tables. Campaigns and a variety of organizations like to connect with delegates and volunteers here. There are often vendors selling food or snacks at the convention. Plenty of units use this as a fundraiser, but sometimes the food comes from the venue itself or from a local small business. And many corners around the convention, you'll also find hospitality rooms that the candidates have rented to serve as like a home base for their campaign team. They often have food, shirts, buttons, and they're a fun way to chill out just for a moment. Another spot that's often close to the convention hall is the teller room. That's where the ballots are counted. And then, most importantly, you'll find the convention hall, where the main business happens. Delegates are seated in an area called the floor, and business is handled according to parliamentary procedure. If you're an unseated delegate or guest, you can still watch from the gallery close to the floor. As you go through the convention, you'll encounter several officials working the convention hall. The unit chair will formally open the convention before quickly handing it off to a recruited convention chair, whose specialty is running large conventions. The convention chair may get help from a parliamentarian who is an expert in Robert's Rules of Order and is familiar with the rules and procedure. The convention chair will keep things moving through an agenda that the delegates agree on at the start of the convention. The agenda and rules can both be amended before final adoption. A secretary will write down the minutes, which are notes of what decisions are made at the convention. These notes will become the official record. The sergeants at arms will keep order in the convention and serve as security. They'll control who can be on the floor and help carry out the convention chair's directions and any practical details like distributing and collecting ballots. Being a delegate is a big opportunity to serve your community, support a candidate or cause you care about, and influence the DFL's future. Be sure to raise your hand, become a delegate, and volunteer on a pre-convention committee at your precinct caucus on Tuesday, February 27th, 2024.